Violet stared at the ceiling of her childhood bedroom. The familiar cracks in the plaster mocking her like old secrets she'd buried deep. It was 2 a.m., and the house in suburban Chicago was silent except for the distant hum of the refrigerator downstairs. But inside her mind a storm raged, images of Vivian's smile, the way her laughter lit up the dim bar last night, replaying like a broken record she couldn't turn off. She'd always told everyone she was straight. Boyfriends came and went, each one a shield against the questions she never dared ask herself. But last night, after too many drinks at that dive bar in Wrigleyville, Vivian had leaned in close, her breath warm against Violet's ear, whispering something innocuous about the band playing. And in that moment, Violet's world tilted. She felt a pull, a magnetic force she'd ignored for years, and before she could stop herself, her hand brushed Vivian's, lingering just a second too long. Vivian didn't pull away. Instead, she smiled, that knowing curve of her lips that made Violet's heart pound with terror and exhilaration. What the hell was happening? By morning, Violet was a wreck. She paced the kitchen, coffee mug trembling in her hand, as her mother, Evelyn, bustled about making breakfast. Evelyn was the epitome of Midwestern propriety. Church every Sunday, bridge club on Wednesdays, and a firm belief that life followed a script. College, marriage, kids. "You look like you didn't sleep a wink, honey," Evelyn said, eyeing her daughter with concern. Violet forced a smile. "Just work stress, Mom." But it wasn't work. It was Vivian, her best friend of 5 years, the one who'd been there through breakups and job losses, the one who now occupied every thought. Vivian, with her sharp wit and unapologetic confidence, had always been openly gay, but Violet? She was the straight one, the safe one. Or so she'd convinced herself. That afternoon, Violet met Vivian at their usual coffee spot in Lincoln Park. The cafe was buzzing with young professionals, but Violet felt isolated, her mind screaming warnings. Vivian slid into the booth across from her, her short black hair tousled from the wind, eyes bright. "You okay? You seemed off last night." Violet's throat tightened. Off? She'd been electrified, alive in a way that scared her. "I'm fine," she lied, stirring her latte endlessly. But Vivian wasn't buying it. She reached across the table, her fingers grazing Violet's wrist. "Talk to me, Vi. We've always been honest." Honest? Violet wanted to laugh. How could she be honest when admitting the truth meant appending everything? The conversation veered into dangerous territory. Vivian shared about her latest date gone wrong, laughing it off, but Violet felt a stab of jealousy she couldn't name. "Why do you put up with that?" Violet asked, her voice sharper than intended. Vivian shrugged. "Because love's worth the risk. Isn't it?" Their eyes locked and Violet felt exposed, as if Vivian could see the turmoil boiling inside her. She pulled her hand away, excusing herself to the bathroom, where she splashed water on her face, staring at her reflection. Who are you? She thought. The girl who dated Mark for 2 years, planning a future that now felt like a cage? Or the one whose pulse raced at the thought of Vivian's touch? Back at the table, Vivian pressed gently. "Something's eating at you. Is it about last night?" Violet hesitated, her mind racing through scenarios. Denial, confession, rejection. But the words tumbled out before she could stop them. I felt something. When we were close." Vivian's expression softened, a mix of surprise and hope. "Vi, are you saying?" Violet nodded, tears welling. "I don't know what I'm saying. I'm scared." Vivian squeezed her hand. "It's okay to be scared. But you're not alone." That evening, Violet drove home in a daze, the confession hanging heavy. Her phone buzzed with a text from Vivian. "Thinking of you. Let's talk more tomorrow." A warmth spread through her, but so did dread. What if her family found out? Her father, Robert, a conservative engineer who voted red and quoted the Bible at family dinners. How would he react? And her sister, Claire, married with 2 kids, living the life Violet was supposed to want. The pressure built, a vice around her chest. She parked in the driveway, sitting there for minutes, debating whether to delete Vivian's number and pretend nothing happened. But she couldn't. The truth, once glimpsed, refused to hide. The next day brought the first crack. At work, Violet's colleague Sarah noticed her distraction during a meeting. Earth to Violet. "What's up?" Sarah was a gossip but also a friend. Violet confided vaguely, mentioning confusion about feelings. Sarah's eyes widened. For a woman? Oh honey, that's big. Big. It was cataclysmic. By lunch, whispers spread through the office, subtle glances hushed conversations. Violet felt exposed, paranoia creeping in. Was this how it started? The judgment, the isolation? That night, dinner with her family was torture. Robert droned on about politics, railing against those agendas pushing alternative lifestyles. Evelyn nodded along, serving pot roast. Violet's fork scraped her plate, her appetite gone. Claire chatted about her kids, but Violet's mind was elsewhere, replaying Vivian's words. When the meal ended, she retreated to her room, calling Vivian. I can't do this, she whispered. My family. They'd never understand. Vivian's voice was steady. You don't have to tell them yet. But denying yourself? That's no way to live. Violet hung up, torn between longing and fear. The choice loomed. Embrace the unknown or cling to the familiar lie. But choices had consequences, and Violet was about to learn that the hard way. Violet's resolve crumbled faster than she expected. 2 days after the coffee shop confession, she agreed to meet Vivian at a quiet park near Lake Michigan. The wind off the water was crisp, but Violet felt feverish, her thoughts a whirlwind of doubt and desire. Vivian arrived with a picnic basket, her smile disarming. Thought we could talk without interruptions, she said, spreading a blanket on the grass. They sat close, knees brushing, and Violet's heart raced. This was real. Not a drunken mistake, but a deliberate step into forbidden territory. As they ate sandwiches, Vivian opened up about her own coming out. My parents disowned me for a year. It hurt like hell, but I couldn't live a lie. Violet listened, envy mixing with terror. I envy your courage, she admitted. I've always played it safe. Vivian's hand found hers. Safe isn't always living, Vi. The touch sent sparks through her, and for the first time Violet didn't pull away. They talked for hours, sharing dreams and fears, the connection deepening with every word. By sunset, Violet leaned in, their foreheads touching in a moment of quiet intimacy. It wasn't a kiss, just a promise of what could be. But it was enough to ignite the fire. Back home, the guilt hit like a wave. Evelyn noticed her late return. Out with friends again? You seem different lately. Violet mumbled an excuse, but her mother's eyes narrowed. Paranoia set in. Did she suspect? That night, Violet lay awake, inner monologue raging. Why now? Why Vivian? She'd had crushes before, dismissed as admiration. But this was different, raw, undeniable. It challenged everything. Her identity, her future, her place in the world. Society's whispers echoed in her mind. Abnormal, sinful, attention-seeking. Was she ready to face that? The next week, things escalated. Violet and Vivian started seeing each other secretly, stolen lunches, late-night texts. Each encounter chipped away at Violet's defenses, revealing a self she'd suppressed. But secrecy bred tension. At a family barbecue, Robert grilled steaks while pontificating on traditional values. Marriage is between a man and a woman, end of story. Claire agreed, her husband nodding. Violet bit her tongue, but inside anger simmered. How could they be so blind? So judgmental? She excused herself, texting Vivian. I can't keep this up. Vivian replied. Then don't. Be with me openly. The idea thrilled and terrified her. Then came the betrayal. Sarah, the office friend, cornered Violet in the break room. I heard about you and Vivian. Is it true? Violet froze. How? A careless text? An overheard call? Please keep it quiet, she begged. Sarah promised, but by afternoon the boss called her in. Rumors are flying. Is there something I should know? Humiliation burned. That evening, Violet confronted Vivian. Someone knows. This is spiraling. Vivian urged calm. We can handle it together. But Violet panicked, lashing out. Maybe we shouldn't have started this. Hurt flashed in Vivian's eyes. Is that what you want? To run away? The argument left Violet reeling. She drove aimlessly through Chicago's streets, tears blurring the lights. Why was this so hard? Because love wasn't simple, it demanded sacrifice. Her phone rang. Claire. Mom's worried. You're acting strange. Violet snapped. Mind your own business. The call ended badly, seeds of family discord sown. Days blurred into a haze of avoidance. Violet ignored Vivian's calls, burying herself in work. But the silence amplified her turmoil. One night, alone in her apartment she'd moved out years ago but visited home often, she scrolled through old photos, her with ex-boyfriends, smiling fakely. Who was that girl? A performer in her own life. The realization hit. Denying Vivian meant denying herself. But embracing her meant risking everything. Finally, she called Vivian. "I'm sorry. I freaked out." Reconciliation was tentative but real. They met at Vivian's loft in the Loop, talking through the night. Vivian shared stories of lost friends, judgmental stares. "It's not easy, but it's worth it." Violet nodded, resolve hardening. But fate intervened. The next morning, Evelyn showed up unannounced. "We need to talk." In her hand was Violet's phone. Left at home by accident, text from Vivian exposed. "What is this?" Evelyn demanded, voice shaking. Violet's world collapsed. "Mom, But words failed. Evelyn's face twisted in disbelief. "This isn't you. It's a phase." The denial stung worse than anger. Violet stood her ground. "It's who I am." Evelyn left in tears, the door slamming like a finality. Alone, Violet crumbled. The price was steep: family rejection, office gossip, self-doubt. But in the wreckage, a spark of freedom flickered. Was it worth it? The question haunted her as she reached for her phone, dialing Vivian. "It's out. And it's bad." Vivian's response: "I'm here." For now, that was enough. But the storm was just beginning. The fallout from Evelyn's discovery rippled through Violet's life like a shockwave. Phone calls from family poured in. Claire's accusatory voicemails, Robert's terse texts demanding a meeting. Violet ignored them, hunkering down in her apartment, Vivian by her side. "They'll come around," Vivian assured, but Violet doubted it. Her parents' world was black and white. This gray area terrified them. Inside, Violet wrestled with guilt. Had she betrayed them by hiding? Or were they betraying her by refusing to see? The family meeting was inevitable. It happened at the house, tension thick as fog. Robert sat rigid in his armchair, Bible on the coffee table like a weapon. Evelyn's eyes were red-rimmed. Claire hovered, judgmental. "Explain yourself," Robert barked. Violet took a breath, Vivian's encouragement echoing in her mind. "I'm in love with Vivian. I'm gay." The words hung explosive. Robert's face reddened. "No daughter of mine." Evelyn sobbed. Claire interjected. "Think about the kids. What will they say?" Violet's anger flared. "What about me? My happiness?" The argument escalated. Accusations of influence, pleas for therapy, threats of disownment. Violet stormed out, heart shattered. In the car, tears streamed. "I lost them," she whispered to Vivian on the phone. "No, they lost you," Vivian replied. But the pain was visceral. Violet questioned everything. Was love worth this fracture? Society's lens amplified the doubt, news stories of hate crimes, online forums decrying lifestyles. She felt marked, vulnerable. At work, the whispers turned to isolation. Colleagues avoided her, projects reassigned subtly. Sarah, the supposed friend, admitted leaking the rumor. "I thought it would help you come out." Betrayal burned. Violet confronted her. "You had no right." Sarah shrugged. "Get over it." The office became a battlefield, productivity plummeting amid the drama. Vivian became her anchor, but cracks appeared there too. Vivian pushed for openness, attending pride events, introducing Violet to her circle. But Violet resisted, fear holding her back. "I'm not ready," she argued. Vivian's frustration grew. "Hiding won't protect you." One night it boiled over. "If you're ashamed of us, maybe we shouldn't be together." Violet panicked. "I'm not ashamed, I'm scared." The fight left them raw, sleeping apart. Alone, Violet's inner turmoil peaked. Was she strong enough? The moral quandary gnawed. Was pursuing happiness selfish if it hurt others? Family ties versus self-truth. A choice no one should face. She journaled furiously, words pouring out. Pain, anger, longing. Dawn brought clarity. She couldn't go back. Reconciliation attempts failed. A lunch with Claire devolved into blame. "You're tearing the family apart." Violet retorted. "Your intolerance is." Bridges burned, but new ones formed. Vivian's friends welcomed her, sharing stories of survival. One, a lawyer, advised on workplace discrimination. Emboldened, Violet filed a complaint against Sarah, reclaiming power. Yet the damage lingered. Sleepless nights, anxiety attacks. Vivian supported, but her patience waned. I need you all in, Vi. Violet committed, attending her first support group. Hearing others' struggles mirrored her own. Apathy from society, pressure to conform. It awakened her. Then a twist, Robert called. We need to talk. Alone. Violet met him at a diner, nerves frayed. He looked older, weary. I don't understand, but I love you. Tears fell. It wasn't acceptance but a crack in the wall. Evelyn followed, apologizing haltingly. I want to try. Hope flickered, fragile. But joy was short-lived. Vivian dropped a bomb. A job offer in New York. It's my dream. Come with me. Violet hesitated. Leave Chicago? Her mending family? The choice loomed, love or roots. Inner debate raged. Sacrifice for Vivian or stay for healing? She chose love, but doubt shadowed. Packing boxes, she wondered if this was right. The move was a whirlwind. New York buzzed with energy, but Violet felt unmoored. Vivian thrived, but Violet struggled. Job hunting, culture shock. Homesickness hit hard. Calls home were strained. Evelyn's efforts genuine, but Robert distant. Claire judgmental. Violet questioned her decision. Was this freedom or folly? One evening, overlooking the city, Vivian proposed deeper commitment. Let's make this official. Violet's heart soared, but fear intruded. Society's gaze, legal battles, public scrutiny. She said yes, but inside turmoil brewed. The price of authenticity was steep, and Violet was paying in full. New York swallowed Violet whole. Its relentless pace a stark contrast to Chicago's familiarity. She landed a job at a marketing firm, but the adjustment was brutal. Long hours, anonymous crowds. Vivian's new role at a nonprofit kept her busy, their time together dwindling. Violet's doubts festered. Had she traded one cage for another? Nights alone in their Brooklyn apartment, she scrolled through family photos, a pang of regret twisting her gut. I miss them, she confessed to Vivian one rare evening together. Vivian sighed. They'll visit. Give it time. But time only amplified the isolation. The first visit from Evelyn was tense. She arrived wide-eyed, navigating subways with trepidation. Over dinner, conversation skirted the elephant. Violet's relationship. The city's so different, Evelyn said, eyeing couples hand in hand. Violet braced for judgment, but Evelyn surprised her. I'm trying to understand. Tears followed, admissions of fear. I worried you'd be alone. Violet hugged her, a bridge mending. But Robert refused to come, his silence a wound. Society's pressures mounted. At work, a client's homophobic remark during a meeting stung. We don't want that agenda in our campaign. Violet spoke up, voice steady. Diversity is strength. The client backed down, but the incident shook her. Online, trolls targeted her social media after a pride post. Hate messages, threats. Vivian comforted. Block them. We're stronger. But Violet internalized it, questioning if visibility was worth the vitriol. Moral conflicts deepened. Vivian wanted to adopt someday, but Violet hesitated. What about the kids? The bullying? Vivian argued. We teach resilience. The debate highlighted divides. Vivian's optimism versus Violet's caution. One night it erupted. You're holding back. Vivian accused. Violet countered. I'm protecting us. Hurt words flew, doors slammed. In the aftermath, Violet pondered. Was love enough without shared vision? A turning point came via betrayal from an unexpected source. Claire visited, ostensibly supportive. But over coffee, she revealed ulterior motives. Dad's health is failing. Come home alone. Fix this. Violet recoiled. Fix? I'm not broken. Claire pressed. For the family. The manipulation stung, using illness as leverage. Violet refused, but guilt gnawed. Was she selfish? Calling home confirmed. Robert had a minor heart scare, exaggerated by Claire. Anger surged. You lied. Claire admitted. To bring you back. The betrayal severed ties. Violet blocked her. But the damage lingered, trust eroded. Vivian supported, but their rift widened. Vivian's late nights increased, excuses thin. Suspicion crept in. Who's keeping you out? Violet asked. Vivian deflected. Work. The truth emerged brutally. Scrolling Vivian's phone, a low she'd never stooped to, Violet found messages from an ex. Flirtatious, intimate. Miss our nights. Heart-shattering, she confronted Vivian. How long? Vivian confessed. Just talks. I was lonely. Lonely? While Violet sacrificed everything. Rage boiled. I gave up my life for you. Vivian pleaded. Forgive me. It was a mistake. But trust fractured. The separation was agonizing. Violet moved to a sublet, days blurring in sorrow. Inner monologue tormented. Why her? After all the fights for this love? Society's irony mocked. Fight for acceptance, only to face infidelity. Friends advised. Move on. But love lingered, complicated. Reconciliation attempts faltered. Therapy sessions revealed depths. Vivian's fear of commitment, Violet's codependency. We rushed, Vivian admitted. Violet agreed, but parting hurt. A final meeting at their old park, ironic echo. I love you, but we need space. Tears sealed it. Alone, Violet rebuilt. New friends, therapy, activism. She volunteered at LGBTQ centers, stories inspiring. One mentee's struggle mirrored hers. Family rejection, self-doubt. Guiding her awakened purpose. Work thrived. She pitched inclusive campaigns, earning respect. Family thawed slowly. Evelyn visited often, Robert called occasionally. Proud of you, he grunted once. Claire apologized, bridges tentative. Violet visited Chicago, boundaries firm. But Vivian haunted dreams. A chance encounter at a gala, Vivian with someone new. Jealousy flared, but maturity prevailed. You look happy, Violet said. Vivian nodded. You too. Closure bittersweet. Reflecting, Violet weighed the journey. Pain, growth, authenticity. Was the cost justified? Highs and lows balanced on a knife's edge. Life moved forward, scars badges of survival. Violet stood on the Brooklyn Bridge, the city skyline glittering like a promise she'd fought to claim. Months after the breakup, solitude had become a companion, teaching her resilience she'd never known. Work consumed her days, promotions came, fueled by passion for inclusive marketing. Nights were for reflection, journaling the chaos that had reshaped her. No more hiding. She dated casually, exploring her identity without pressure. But echoes of Vivian lingered, a reminder of love's fragility. Family dynamics shifted unevenly. Evelyn's visits brought warmth, shared recipes masking deeper talks. I'm learning, Evelyn said once, handing Violet a book on LGBTQ history. Robert's progress was glacial, a gruff house, New York. On calls, but no outright rejection. Claire, after months of silence, reached out with genuine remorse. I was wrong. Can we start over? Violet agreed warily, family ties mending thread by thread. But scars remained, holidays tense, topics avoided. The price of authenticity. Conditional love. Society's battles continued. A workplace allyship program Violet spearheaded drew backlash. Emails decrying woke agendas. She pushed back in meetings, voice firm. Inclusion isn't optional. Support followed, but exhaustion crept in. Online, she moderated a forum for questioning women, their stories mirroring hers. Confusion, fear, triumph. One user's tale of disownment hit hard. How do you survive? Violet replied. One day at a time with chosen family. Mentorship healed her as much as them. Moral dilemmas persisted. Dating a colleague, Alex, brought joy but questions. Was rebound fair? Alex's understanding gave space. But Violet's heart guarded. Lessons from Vivian etched deep. Trust takes time, Alex said. Violet nodded, inner voice cautioning. Don't lose yourself again. A crisis-tested resolve. News of Vivian's engagement via mutual friends stung like fresh betrayal. Jealousy surged. Why her happiness first? Violet spiraled, questioning choices. Had staying in Chicago been better? Suppressing truth for peace? But no, that life was suffocation. She called Evelyn vulnerability raw. It hurts, Mom. Evelyn listened, evolving. Love comes in waves. Ride it out. Wisdom from unexpected quarters. Activism deepened. Violet spoke at a rally, voice amplified. We deserve love without apology. Cheers buoyed her, but counter-protesters jeered. Fear flickered, but defiance won. Post-event, a young woman approached. You gave me hope. Impact outweighed risk. Personal growth peaked in solitude. Yoga classes, books on self-love, tools for inner peace. She traveled solo to California, ocean waves washing doubts. I'm enough, she affirmed, a mantra born of trials. Returning, she reconnected with old friends, apologies mending rifts. Sarah, remorseful, reached out. I was ignorant. Forgiveness came hard, but Violet granted it, for her own sake. Romance rekindled slowly. Alex proved patient, dates evolving into depth. No rush, Alex said. Violet opened up, sharing scars. Vulnerability bonded them. But society intruded. A family dinner where Alex met Evelyn virtually. Tension but progress. Robert's absence noted but not dwelled. Highs balanced lows. A promotion celebrated with friends. Chosen family toasting growth. But nights alone, doubts whispered. Was the journey worth the wreckage? Lost relationships, emotional toll. Yet authenticity's freedom outweighed. The story circled back to that unforgettable night. Truth's revelation. Violet pondered. Deny desires for societal ease, or embrace them despite pain. Choices defined her, flawed human. In the end, Violet thrived not despite struggles but because of them. Love in all forms demanded sacrifice. But was the ultimate betrayal her own initial denial? Or society's unyielding expectations? Was it right to prioritize personal truth over family harmony, even if it causes irreparable damage?